Egypt's army has given the country's rival parties 48 hours to resolve a deadly political crisis. The army would offer a roadmap for peace if Islamist President Mohammed Morsi and his opponents failed to heed the will of the people, it said. It came after protesters stormed the Cairo office of the Muslim Brotherhood, to which the president belongs. 8 people died as the building was ransacked, a day after millions rallied nationwide urging Mr Morsi to quit. He became Egypt's first Islamist president on June 30, 2012, after winning an election considered free and fair following the 2011 revolution that toppled Hosni Mubarak. Morsi defiant. The head of the armed forces described Sunday's protests as an unprecedented expression of the popular will. But in a statement read out by a spokesman on state television on Monday evening, Gen. Abdel Fattah al-Sisi said the army would not get involved in politics or government. The opposition movement behind the protests, Tamarad, Rebel, welcomed the statement, but said it would continue demonstrations to force Mr Morsi out. There were scenes of flag-waving jubilation in Cairo's Tahrir Square, where Tamarad supporters believed the statement spelt the end for a president they accuse of putting the Brotherhood's interests ahead of the country's as a whole. As 5 helicopters flew over the square with huge Egyptian flags hanging below them, the crowds chanted, "The army and the people are one hand." But a senior member of the Brotherhood's Freedom and Justice Party, FJP, rejected the military statement. Solutions will be in the framework of the Constitution, Yasser Hamza, a member of the FJP's legal committee, told Al Jazeera TV. The age of military coups is over. The opposition movement had given Mr Morsi until Tuesday afternoon to step down and call fresh presidential elections, or else face a campaign of civil disobedience. On Saturday, the group said it had collected more than 22 million signatures, more than a quarter of Egypt's population, in support. But Mr Morsi was defiant in an interview published on Sunday, rejecting calls for early presidential elections. Muslim Brotherhood spokesman Jihad Haddad told the BBC the roadmap referred to by Gen. Sisi did not necessarily increase pressure on the president to call early presidential elections. Rather, he said, the pressure was on Egypt's constitutional court to swiftly issue a new parliamentary law and to call for parliamentary elections. Meanwhile, the Al Watan website said the ministers of Tourism, Environment, Communication and Legal Affairs had resigned in an act of solidarity with the people's demand to overthrow the regime. U.S. President Barack Obama has called for restraint on all sides, saying the potential for violence remained. Although it was not the job of the U.S. to choose Egypt's leaders, it wanted to make sure all voices were heard, said Mr. Obama during a visit to Tanzania.